Hey folks, welcome to Play Branson, the show about the shows where you get to know Branson's entertainers better. I'm your host, Chris Meyer. Now, every once in a while, we'll change our normal show up and talk with someone actually in the attraction business. It's a different form of entertainment, and our guest today is Shonda Gallup with the Branson Scenic Railway. Now, it's her first time on the show, so I'm excited to have her here. Now, today's episode is brought to you by iBranson.com, where you can plan your entire Branson vacation. So be sure to visit iBranson.com. Now, are you looking for who's playing in Branson tonight, or maybe what attractions are open? Well, you can now go to thevacationchannel.com and see Branson show and attraction schedules. Click on the schedule button in the top right corner. We'll be back with Shonda Gallup in just a moment. Have you seen our new Play Branson magazine? Well, if you want to know more about Branson's shows, attractions, golf, the lakes, and more, you need to get the Play Branson magazine. It's free. It's located all over town in racks, so be sure to pick up a Play Branson magazine. Hey folks, welcome back to Play Branson. And on today's show, for the first time ever, I have Shonda Gallup, and you are the project manager at the Branson Scenic Railway. So welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Chris.
So, folks, we normally do have entertainers, but today we're talking about a different type of entertainment with the Branson Scenic Railway. But first, we want to get to know you better and your background, and how did you get into this business?
Oh, thank you. So I actually come from the maritime industry. I spent about 20 years in primarily passenger vessel operations, and so working on board vessels that carried people overnight for 7 to 14 days at a time. So interacting with guests, providing good guest experience, providing them a vacation of their lifetime has just been ingrained in me. And so when an opportunity came up with American Heritage Railways, which owns Branson Scenic Railway, it was just a really perfect fit because I come with the background, the operational experience, operating large equipment. And so when I came over just over a year ago and the project management role came open, I went ahead and took it because I not only have the operational experience, but I also have done project management in the past. And so large projects for vessels, shipyards, refits, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. And so it just was a natural fit for me to come over and help them in any way that made sense.
So when you were growing up, did you say, I want to get, and you call them a vessel, I call it a boat, right? It could be a small boat or a big boat, right? Yeah. Did you want to do that as a career, or how did that all transpire that you got into that?
You know, my first time being on a boat was, I think I was about 8 years old, and I went on a sailing boat with a friend of mine and his family. And I absolutely loved being on the water. I did not think that was going to be a long-term, career for me. But, ultimately went to school, did some marine biology studies, and that's just how I ended up on a boat doing a boat project, and then just never left.
Yeah. And so these vessels that you're talking about, were these small cruises? Are they big cruises? Or is it something even different than that?
So it was a mixture. I actually started on scuba diving and research vessels in Southern California, and then transitioned up to primarily Alaska on what we would call small passenger vessels, averaging in about the 100 passenger size, about 200 feet. So decent sized vessels, but not large cruise ships where you're with, thousands of your best friends.
So did you get to know when you're on a cruise with 100 people and maybe a week or 2 weeks, do you get to know the people really well?
In some cases, yes. So towards the end of my time actually being on board, I was actually on vessels that were more in the 12 to 36 passenger range. So very intimate. You would spend hours on end with people standing next to you while you're running the boat. Asking you questions about navigation, what we're seeing, my experience. So yes, a very intimate experience towards the end.
So you went from boats, vessels to trains. Mm-hmm. Similarities or big differences?
Actually, there's a lot of similarities. Obviously, trains operate on land. They're operating on rails. You don't have as many choices as far as which way you get to go, where vessels, you can veer off left or right, and it's just a little bit more of a fluid sort of experience. But trains just in general, it's a similar operation in the fact that, you're operating large equipment, you're carrying passengers, which is one of your most precious cargoes. You're trying to provide the best experience that you can. You're trying to show them things that they wouldn't normally get to see. And so the operations of vessels, all very similar as far as the type of equipment that are on board that keep the ship running, as to a train. So a lot of it really is very parallel or, could be intermixed.
Yeah. So I'm sitting in this seminar a couple days ago, and this guy is talking, and I may not get this right, so those of you out there, you can fact check me, but it was like 4 feet, like 8.5 inches. And that is the width of the train track. And it's am I close to that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I'm close. And so the guy basically went back and said, why? And it went back all the way to the chariots and the tracks that they had. And he basically showed throughout history, everybody has kept the same dimension. And it even is to like SpaceX and their rocket boosters. Well, why? It's because it's of the train. But well, anyway, it was fascinating. And so the whole premise was that sometimes in society we do things, but it's really based on something that happened hundreds of years ago and no one's ever changed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I just thought that was really interesting with the train tracks. It really was based on stuff that was happening before trains.
Yeah. And we actually operate, we have 3 current fully functioning rail operations that we own and operate. 2 of them, we actually own all the track and everything, including the bridges, tunnels, everything. So any piece that you see when you're operating on those railroads, that's owned by the company. Or one of its subsidiaries. And one of them actually is a narrow gauge. So it is slightly different. It's about 3 feet width.
That's
and that's just a historical difference for that area.
Yeah.
But there is 2 primary sizes of rails here in the United States. And
yeah. But you don't think about that when you're just getting on a train, like how are standards set? How do, it's kind of like car standards and all that. So you guys talk about your ownership company, because y'all are doing this a lot of places. You're doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So American Heritage Railways, was founded in 1997. With their first major purchase was the Durango and Silverton narrow gauge railroad. And then the very next year they purchased Great Smoky Mountain. And so started off primarily in the rail industry, rail and real estate, but has been expanded because, our ultimate goals are to preserve history, provide entertainment, and to get people to ride or to visit our locations, to get to learn about things and to keep that history going. And so we're preservationists. And so in addition to our railroad operations, which Branson Scenic is our newest, we actually own a small theme park in Old Tucson, Arizona.
Wow.
We own a ranch. We also operate the licensing division for all of the Polar Expresses that operate across the United States and in the United Kingdom and Canada.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
This whole Polar, and we're going to talk more about that Polar Express. But so your company is really in the entertainment, attraction, preservation business, and you kind of think about like, as you get different forms of transportation, sometimes you think other forms will go away. It's just kind of like, when the internet was created, everybody thought TV or the newspaper would go away, and they just morph. But I think there's this nostalgia that people are always interested in. It's kind of like vinyl records. Records have had a resurgence. And so I think for people that have never ridden a train, it's like, I want to do that. So in fact, my wife and one of my son have been riding a lot of trains here recently overseas, and it's been a good experience for them. So we're going to be back in just a second, folks. Hang tight. We're going to talk about the Branson Scenic Railway.
Going to Branson for some relaxation and fun? You've got to stay with Branson's award-winning hotel family, Meyer Hotels. Meyer Hotels features 4 hotels in Branson with the best locations for your trip. Choose from brands you know and trust, like the Holiday Inn Express on Green Mountain Drive, the Best Western Centerpoint Inn, Comfort Inn at Thousand Hills, and the Comfort Inn and Suites. Enjoy refreshing indoor pools and hot tubs. Do you like free? How about a free hot breakfast each morning? Free vacation planning services, and of course, smiles are always free. Want even more value? Go to MeyerHospitality.com and join our Eat Club to save 15% off your next stay and check out incredible deals with our vacation packages. Call 1-877-FUN-STAY to book Branson's award-winning hotels or visit MeyerHospitality.com. It's your safe choice for award-winning lodging in Branson. MeyerHospitality.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. We are talking to Shonda Gallup, who is the project manager at the Branson Scenic Railway. So maybe we have somebody watching out there and they don't even know there's a Branson Scenic Railway in Branson. So tell people about the Branson Scenic Railway.
Oh, yeah. So Branson Scenic Railway actually has been around for over 30 years. They started in 1993 with a small private ownership group that started off with just a handful of passenger cars and I believe a leased locomotive, and have grown it into what it is pretty much today, which is I think we've got 10 passenger cars now and 2 primary locomotives that are operated. American Heritage purchased Branson Scenic Railway back in September 2024, so recent ownership change. And part of the reason why we chose Branson Scenic is because it's in a great location. It gets a ton of tourists, and the scenery that we get depends on the season, but to get to go out into the Ozarks and see the beauty of the Ozarks, lots of foliage, trestles, beautiful landscapes. We operate on about 40 miles of track, which are leased to us by M&A, which is the ownership of the track is Union Pacific. And so it's a lease agreement where we get to operate on the track and get to see and take people out into the areas that they just can't see from the road. Mm-hmm. And so Branson Scenic is, our third train location that we own and operate. Just slightly different than the other locations in the lease versus ownership agreement. But Branson Scenic it's a beautiful addition to what we're trying to do, which, the train cars, the locomotives, they're all historic. Right. And what we're working towards is basically bringing them up to a little bit, nicer standard inside, working on providing a little bit different onboard entertainment, including we've got musicians on board now. We have a live narration, which was historic. They always had live narration before. But we're just trying to provide a little higher level of experience to give people a chance to come out, see a train, get to feel the nostalgia of being on a historic streamliner. Yeah. And get that short experience because not everybody can do the longer Amtrak runs.
Yeah. And so you have a couple of these, I don't know what you call them, train segments that are the glass tops, right? Tell people a little bit about that.
Yeah, so our dome cars, which we have 3.
Dome cars, there we go. That's what I was looking for, was that one.
Our dome cars, which we have 3 of, are very popular because you get to sit up on a second level. It's dome glass all over, so you get to see the sky and out a little bit farther. They're popular primarily for that, just the scenery piece of it, but also just because there's not a terrible lot of them around. Right. And so when they come on the market, they are a hot commodity and people really want them, and they refurbish very nicely. Yeah.
So you got those, the other thing, and so you're running basically, depending on the day, about 3 to 4 times a day, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so right now we're ramping up into the busy season. So during the week, we operate 2 trains every day, and then on the weekends, we'll transition between 3 and 4 trains, depending on whether it's a holiday or what's going on in town. And then once we transition into our Polar Express season, which is our Christmas season, we will operate up to as many as 5 trains a day.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So beside the excursion itself is about 1 hour and 45 minutes, right?
It is.
Yeah. So, folks, that's, you're going to be out there in the Ozarks for about 1 hour and 45 minutes. But you also, on the weekend evenings, you do a dinner train.
We do.
Tell people about that.
Yeah. So our dinner train it's a catered event. So you come on board. It's a 2-hour trip, so 15 minutes longer. We do run basically the same overall trip. So you're seeing mostly the same things you see on the excursion train, but it's a 4-course meal including a salad, a full dinner, bread and drinks, and then a dessert.
There we go. Dessert right there.
Yeah. And it's catered by an amazing company in town, the company I've been working with for many years. So they do an excellent service. And then we have our onboard staff that does some additional support. So
can you tell us what what's the main dish? What's the main?
Oh, so we're offering 4 different dishes right now.
Oh, wow.
And the menu will probably change slightly year to year. We're also looking to see if we want to add in some special kind of events, one-off, meal service things where people can have a different kind of meal service. But right now, what we're offering is prime rib, a grilled chicken option, a grilled fish, and then we added a vegan option this year, just because we want to be able to provide service to a varied group of individuals.
So when they make the reservation, they can pick which one they want to do.
Yeah.
Okay. So here, folks, here's the deal, and I think when people go on vacation, they want unique dining experiences. And this is a perfect example because it's not every day you can ride on a train, number one, but then also to ride on a train and get meal service. And so that's just on the weekends. So if they want to do this, they need to plan around that weekend time frame. So
so we're offering it right now Fridays and Saturdays, and then occasionally on special holidays. We have a full calendar on our website right now, bransontrain.com.
Okay. So tell people about the Polar Express.
Oh gosh, Polar Express. So Polar Express is our main winter offering. It's a branded licensed program, basically. It's a full production that happens at the depot and on board the train, where we're following basically the storyline that happens in the movie and the book.
Yeah.
And so, we have a chance for you to go visit the North Pole. We get to meet Santa. He comes on board, gives out the first gift of Christmas, and children love it. They come in their pajamas. Families will come in their pajamas.
Yes, and I can vouch for that because I've seen them. I've seen them. They do, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I'll drive by there and I'll see all these people, and then sometimes the families are all wearing the same pajamas.
They are, yeah. They will definitely coordinate.
Yes.
And make a big event out of it. And people will come year to year, do it over and over, bring their grandchildren. It's just a fun, family geared and oriented event where adults come by themselves, but adults and families will come.
Yeah. So folks, here's the deal. If you want to create a new family tradition, you need to book this because I know a lot of them get booked up, even though you're running many times a day. Tell people just on the normal train, kind of what your normal excursion times are. And I know they vary per day, but just kind of give them the range.
Yeah, so we offer almost daily a 9:30 a.m. departure and then a noon departure. On our dinner train evenings, which is Fridays and Saturdays right now, I think our first train is leaving at noon and the next one is actually at 2:30. And so that gives people a chance to either ride the excursion in the morning or afternoon, and then if they want to come for dinner, they can. Or for people who are filling up their vacations, they've got a number of shows booked in the evening. We wanted to offer times that worked for them to be able to do both.
Yeah.
And so at 9:30, noon, 2:30, and then dinner train is at 5:30.
5:30. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So folks, lots of variety there. You'll want to check the actual date to make sure when the train's going because those dates do change based on the date. So anything we missed that you want to tell us about the train?
No, just, we're looking forward to continuing to expand what we're offering because ultimately in the end, we want to provide a good experience for riders so that they want to come back, they want to tell their friends. And so, we're always looking to increase what people get, and it's going to be ever evolving. And so if you come this year and you come next year, you may see some different things. So.
Yep. Okay, folks, the Branson Scenic Roadway is located in downtown Branson, and I basically like to say it's between Branson Landing and Old Downtown Branson, right next to the Hilton, right across from Starbucks, if you know where that's at, and you'll see the depot there. Can't miss it. It's the only one in town, so go check out the Branson Scenic Roadway. We'll be right back in just a second to wrap the show up.
There are so many things to do in Branson. You need help planning and booking all your fun. You need iBranson.com. You can find everything Branson has to offer from your computer, tablet, or cell phone. You can even buy tickets online or talk to one of their friendly Branson travel specialists. There's no sales pitches, no delivery fees, no service fees, and no waiting. It's fast and easy. Find your fun at iBranson.com. Do it all online or call 877-ENTERTAIN. That's 877-368-3782. iBranson.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. We've been talking with Shonda Gallup with the Branson Scenic Railway. Now you can ride at 9:30, noon, 2:30, or 5:30 on Friday and Saturdays also. Now, you're going to want to check their schedule and the exact dates because they don't always run all of those times every day. Now, the Polar Express train ride starts November 13th and it goes through January 3rd. So depending on the day, they offer up to 4 time slots starting early afternoon till about 7:55 p.m. Now they're located in the heart of downtown at 206 East Main Street, kind of between Branson Landing and the old downtown Branson, right next to the Hilton Hotel and across from Starbucks. Now if you need help booking tickets for the Branson Scenic Railway or any other show in Branson, be sure to call the folks at iBranson.com at 877-ENTERTAIN, or you can go on to their website, iBranson.com, to start planning your 2025 vacation to Branson. Now, you can always find all of our Play Branson episodes on social media on Facebook or YouTube. Be sure to like us or subscribe to us on our YouTube channel at Play Branson. And you can also find all of our episodes on thevacationchannel.com. Folks, go support some live entertainment this week. Go see a show. That's it for today. We'll see you next week here on Play Branson.